Hi, I'm Ruben Saltzman with Structure Tech Home Inspections, and today I want to talk to you again about walkthrough consultations. I've been hearing people question the ethics of doing these, and I'm just a little bit whipped up about that. So yeah, it's been about a month now since we first announced the rollout of walkthrough consultations for our clients. This is in response to so many people buying houses without a home inspection. As everybody surely knows, if they're involved in the real estate market today, you know that the market is nuts. People are buying houses left and right without home inspections or skipping the home inspection so they can get their offer accepted. The numbers I've heard is that somewhere between 30 and 40% of homes being purchased in Minnesota today, offers being accepted, are being accepted without a home inspection contingency. So there's a lot of people doing this right now, and they're doing it so they can get their offer accepted. So we know this is happening. In response to that, we rolled out a walkthrough consultation. Not a home inspection, not the same thing at all. This is something where we come along during a showing and we give professional advice to the would-be home buyer, letting them know what we see from a home inspection perspective without actually doing a home inspection. So we've been doing this for a little while now. We've heard, I have personally gotten calls from a lot of different home inspectors telling me their concern with these, saying why they will never do them, why they don't think it's a good idea. The concerns that I hear are that this waters down our service. This is not a home inspection, and people are not going to be getting the same great service that we deliver with a home inspection. Yep, you're right. It's not the same thing. We don't say it's the same thing. I've heard home inspectors say that this violates our standard of practice. I've even heard of home inspectors telling real estate agents and other professionals that any home inspector who's doing this is violating their standard of practice. That's simply not true. They're only violating their standard of practice if they're calling a walkthrough consultation a home inspection. And no home inspector should be calling this a mini home inspection. It's not that. It is a consultation. I've heard of home inspectors complaining that this will cannibalize their home inspection business, that it's going to eat up all the rest of the business they have with home inspections, and it's going to change the landscape of their business forever. This is a fear-based concern coming from a scarcity mentality. I'm sorry, but this is not taken away from any of your home inspections. These are transactions where they're not getting home inspections at all. It's not going to eat away your business. And I've also heard home inspectors say that they're concerned about the additional liability that these walkthroughs create. And I'll tell you, there is a ton of liability in the home inspection business. If you don't have the stomach for some liability, you wouldn't have even gotten into the home inspection business. I don't see how this is any different. So the way I see it, there is a need out there for this type of consultation, and we are simply filling that need. It's not a replacement for a home inspection, it's a replacement for nothing. So that's to address some of the concerns that I've had from my other colleagues. And to all of you who still say, I will never do these, I say, that's fine. I'm not trying to convince any home inspector to offer this type of service. I'm simply explaining why we are offering this service. So next, I want to address some concerns that I've heard from real estate agents. Actually, not agents themselves specifically, but there was an article that was recently published asking whether walk-through consultations, actually in the article, they called them walk and talk inspections, which is not a term that anybody should be using. But the question asked was, are these ethical? And it was written from a legal perspective, and there were a lot of concerns brought up in this article, and I want to address all of them. Number one, a concern was brought up that this is not as good as a home inspection. Yep. You're preaching to the choir. Nobody should ever be telling their clients that. But in this article, they implied that there are real estate agents out there telling their clients that this is just as good as a home inspection. I sure hope that's not happening, but maybe it is if somebody took the time to address this in a professional article. Another concern that was brought up is that houses are being damaged while this is happening. Now, I don't know if this is really happening. I mean, maybe there's some anecdotal evidence. It almost seems like people are pulling ideas out of the air and saying that this could potentially happen. I don't know, but I will say that there is no way that a house could get damaged during a walk-through consultation. We're drawing a clear line in the sand between a home inspection and a consultation. All we're doing is we're bringing along a flashlight to these things. That's it. We're not walking the roof, we're not bringing out ladders, we're not looking in the attic, we're not removing electrical panel covers, none of that stuff. It's simply a flashlight. So there should be no concern from home sellers or listing agents about the houses being damaged. It's not going to happen as long as somebody's conducting a walkthrough consultation. If they're trying to cram a whole home inspection in the time of a showing, well, that's a different story. And then the last concern that I heard addressed is that these things are unethical. That's probably the biggest one. It's that a home buyer is trying to do something sneaky, or the home buyer's agent is trying to pull a fast one. It's where they're actually getting a home inspection done under the guise of a showing. They're misrepresenting their intentions to the home seller. And this is an ethical violation. And yeah, I agree with that. If you're not telling the sellers what's happening, I would have to agree. That would be unethical. But from day one, before we first rolled out this service, we had a lot of discussions. We discussed this with our insurance carrier. We talked to a lot of other seasoned home inspectors. We talked to a lot of people on our team. And finally, we talked to a lot of real estate agents about this, getting their professional advice on what we can do to keep all of this on the up and up. And what we were told is that we should be asking the buyer's agent to tell the seller's agent, we're bringing a home inspector along on this showing. So this is all supposed to be disclosed right up front. If we're going to do a walkthrough consultation, the seller knows that a home inspector is going to accompany the buyer on a showing. It's not a home inspection. I think I've said that once or twice already. We're just there to look, but we're letting people know that a home inspector is coming along. So what I'm getting at is there is nothing unethical, nothing sneaky, nothing wrong about any of these walkthrough consultations, provided you're following all these rules. So if you're a real estate agent and you're watching this, my advice would be follow this protocol that we've set up and you shouldn't have any problems. If you're another home inspector, my advice would be follow suit. Bring a flashlight along. Don't be trying to walk roofs. Don't be trying to get in the attic. Don't do any of that stuff. You are going to have the exact same conduct as any other home buyer would, as any other real estate agent should. You bring along your flashlight. That's it. You do that, and I think we're all going to be cool. All right. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it.